In today's episode of Real English Radio, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to play some audio clips of different English speakers, and you are going to guess where each speaker is from. Now, for every answer you get right, you'll give yourself a point. And at the end, you'll add up all your points and let me know what you got. All right, so let's get right into it, my friend. Let's see if you can tell me where this person is from based on their accent.
Putting y'all folk on, like I be telling y'all, I see some fast stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, let me pull it, let me let everybody know what they need to come to. Cause baby, that Bruce Spot store just had everything. I just went shopping, like, wait till I get some more money, I'll come back to get the drip.
Wait till I get some more money, come back to get the drill, shouty. Come back to get the motherfucking drill, shouty. You better ask somebody, nigga. All right, so I'm gonna give you a few seconds, think about it. Tell me, where is that woman from? All right, time's up. That young woman was from Atlanta, Georgia. That is Atlanta, Georgia, a city in the southern United States of America. And as far as the accent goes, there's many different accents in the south of the United States. Not everybody from Atlanta sounds just like that, but depending on the part of the city, this is what people sound like. Now, if you could understand every word that she just said, consider your English fucking S tier. I mean, it is the best of the best. Because I'll be honest with you, there are some natives that wouldn't be able to understand what she was talking about. And just to give you some context, she was talking about, I guess she went to some store at the mall, some kind of clothing store, and she was really impressed by their selection. I think she mentioned something about good prices. And she's going to go back and get the drip, which means she's going to go back and get some very stylish clothes. All right. So if you got that one right, go ahead and give yourself a point, player. But we're going to move right on to the next one. Let's see if you can tell me where this person is from based on their accent.
Down and said, well, tell me about yourself. And this interview went on and on and on. I mean, when I arrived, she said, if you got your car on a meter because you're going to be here 3 hours. I said, 3 hours? I don't even know what the job is. So this interview went on for about 2 hours. She asked me absolutely everything about, I don't know, what my interests were when I was.
All right, my friends, I'll give you a few seconds. Think about it, process it all. Let me know. Where is that man from? Now, if you said England, you are absolutely correct, but let's see if you can be even more specific. What part of England do you think he's from? Well, based on my research, that man is from Birmingham. Americans would probably say Birmingham because that's how we say. There's a city called Birmingham in Alabama in the United States. In England, they pronounce it Birmingham in the Midlands of England, if I'm not mistaken. I really appreciate that accent, and I've been hearing it a lot because I'm watching Peaky Blinders right now, and apparently it takes place in Birmingham. You know, so they call it the Birmingham accent. I can't do it. I like to try sometimes, but anyway. So yeah, that's the English accent specifically from Birmingham in the Midlands of England. So if you got it right, go ahead and give yourself another point, player. You 2 for 2, baby. You are 2 for 2. All right. We're going to move right on to number 3. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
Now, I really appreciate you coming in on such short notice. We were given an anonymous tip, and so we did a random search and found in your son's possession the following.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's not mine.
Shut your mouth.
It sounded like somebody found some drugs in a place they weren't supposed to be. All right, take a few seconds. Think about it. Where do you think that woman is from? Ladies and gentlemen, that woman is from the island of Jamaica. I don't know how Jamaicans pronounce it, though. I would say Jamaica. Not that there's so many different ways to pronounce that word, but anyway. Yeah, she's from Jamaica. She has a very Caribbean accent. Now, I think that a lot of people from that area will sound similar. Like that's a typical Caribbean accent when speaking English. Like people from the Bahamas, they sound similar to me. Now, maybe people from the Bahamas and people from Jamaica can identify the difference in their accents, but personally, I can't. But there you go. That woman is from Jamaica. That is the Jamaican accent. All right. So we're going to keep it moving. If you got that one right, go ahead and put another point on the paper. How you doing? 1 for 3? 2 for 3, 3 for 3. How many you get right so far, man? Let me know. Anyway, we're going to move right on to accent number 4. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
Have a wonderful prevailing atmosphere of tolerance and understanding. And I feel that my own experience is proof of that. And actually, it makes me feel quite proud to belong to a country where it's...
Yes, she's quite proud. She's quite proud. Really proud. Take a few seconds. Think about it. Where do you think she's from, my friend? And I'll give you a hint. It is not England. That's the only hint I'm going to give you today. Ladies and gentlemen, that woman is Scottish. She's a Scot. I don't know what part of Scotland. I'm not really certified to identify, those regional accents, but based on my research, she's from somewhere in Scotland. All right. So if you got a point, go ahead and put it down on the paper. You're probably not using pen and paper. Do people still write on pen and paper? I do. Helps me organize my thoughts. Anyway, so hopefully you are 4 for 4, my friend. But if you're not, don't feel bad. Okay, we're going to move right along to the next one. I'm sure you're going to get this one. Okay. So let's see if just by hearing the accent, you can identify where this person's from.
To finish off this look, I take a couple of sections on the top of my head and using a paddle brush, I tease the hair to create a little bit more volume on top of my head. Last but not least, I do a quick final spray of hairspray and we're good to go.
All right, what do you think? What do you think? Just a few more seconds. Process it. Choose wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, that woman was or is from South Africa. That is the South African accent, or at least one of them. I haven't heard all of them, but that's the South African accent. And to me, I don't know, man. It's the way I can differentiate the South African accent from any other is they sound like a mixture between the British accent and the Caribbean accent. That's what it sounds like to me. She said something like, I touched the hair on the top of my head. Just certain words that they pronounce in a very particular way. And it doesn't sound completely British, doesn't sound completely Caribbean, doesn't sound completely Australian. It's like somewhere in the middle of those three. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's 5, my friend. Let's move right along to number 6. Let's see if you can guess. Not guess. Let's see if you can identify this particular accent.
And they just sung me like a traditional song as I got off stage, and I was already emotional. I just started bawling my eyes. It was like such a nice way to finish the night. They just sung this beautiful song like as a gift to me or something. It's just so beautiful. And
all right, my friend, what do you think? All right, well, if you haven't identified it already, that is the Australian accent. That young man is from the great country of Australia. And I don't know about y'all, but I've always thought of the Australian accent kind of like, it sounds to me like a country British accent. The same way like somebody from Texas or Louisiana or Alabama or Georgia, they got that Southern American accent. Some of them, obviously there's different Southern accents, but the stereotypical Southern cowboy, sound like George Bush or something like that, that Southern accent. That's like a cowboy version of American English. Australians to me sound like the cowboys of Great Britain. If there's any people from Australia listening, let me know if that's offensive. Do y'all get offended when I say that? Anyway, that's how it sounds to me. We're going to move right along, my friend. Again, that was the Australian accent. We are about to move to accent number 7. I hope you're keeping track. I want to know how many points you got at the end of the episode. Don't forget. All right, let's move right along. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
Thank you, Mr. President. I certainly agree with both of my colleagues. And it's not just Cummings Park, it's Car Park, it's Plaisted Park, it's throughout the community. I think at this point, too, I'd like to send an official resolve to the DPW to do not only the cleanup at all these parks, but do a preventative maintenance plan on the top lots as well.
All right, my friend, take a few seconds to think about it. Where's that man from? Ladies and gentlemen, that man is from Boston, Massachusetts, up there in the northeast of the United States of America. And this one is very easy to identify because people from New England or the northeast of the country, you got to pay attention to the way they pronounce words with AR. Like you said, the park and the car park. You know, if he sounds anything like Peter from Family Guy, he's most likely from the northeast of the country. You know, out there. Apparently, maybe they call parking lots car parks up there in Boston. I really don't know because he said car park out there in the car parks. It's fun to say, isn't it? Car parks. All right, my friend, that was number 7. I'm really hoping you are 7 for 7, but if you're not, don't worry about it. All right, you can listen to this episode as many times as you want. We're going to move right along to number 8. Let's see if you can tell me where this person is from just based on their accent.
And that's been a calling card for us this year. So proud of that, proud of our group for standing together. You can see a big moment in the game for me, you know, regardless of score. Tough hit in the corner, and then Tanner's able to stand up to one of the toughest guys.
All right, my friend, take a few seconds. Think about it. My friend, that man was from somewhere in the Midwest of the United States. Now, when I say Midwest, I'm talking like Illinois, I'm talking Michigan, I'm talking Ohio, you know? It's not really the middle of the West. It's just based on the way that the country developed over time. That at one point that was known as the middle of the West of the United States, if I understand correctly. But it's really like the north of the United States, up there near the border between the United States and Canada. And you could be forgiven if you mistook that accent for a Canadian accent because it sounds slightly Canadian. You know, the closer you get to the Canadian border, the more Canadian people start to sound. You know, there's just certain words that they pronounce in a particular way that might make you think they're Canadian. But yeah, he's from, I don't know what state, I don't know what city, but he's from somewhere in the Midwest. All right. Cool. So we're going to move right along to the next accent, my friend. Let's see if you can tell me where this person is from.
No, yeah, I'm just excited to be like just doing this again because I haven't done promo or released music where I've gone out to promote it for a long time. Like I've released a lot of music and stuff like that, but it's just good to be back out on the road and back in the scene and going on tour again.
All right, my friend, what do you think? That man was from somewhere in New Zealand, if you can believe it. And for me, the dead giveaway is the way he pronounced words like that. I'm trying to say it like him. The way he pronounced the words that and back. Very different from the way I pronounce it. I think he said something like that, and it's good to be back. You know, when that hits my ears, I'm like, oh, you're either from Australia or from New Zealand. You might mistake it for something like South African. Because again, when I hear South Africans talk, it's like, you're kind of British, you're kind of Australian, you're kind of Caribbean. Like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know enough about South Africa or its history to know why they sound like that. Or where all of the people's roots are from. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just the way it sounds to me. But the clip you just heard was a guy from New Zealand. All right? So, how you doing on points, my friend? We just finished number 9. How many points you got? I should probably stop it. Is that making you feel bad by me asking you that so many times? Because if you aren't getting them all right, you might be getting discouraged. But don't get discouraged, my friend. It's just a simple game. Just trying to expose you to some different accents. Have a little bit of fun. It's okay if you don't get them all right. Okay? There's many different kinds of English, you know, various accents. And if you've never been exposed to it, then how are you going to identify it, right? It's no big deal. So let's keep it moving. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
I don't depend on the police to goddamn, like if a nigga run down on me right now with that fire, I can't goddamn go on my phone and say, police pull up, he got the fire on me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, hell nah, and then plus I'm not finna do that anyway.
All right, my friends, take a second, think about it. Where is he from? That young man there is from Atlanta, Georgia. Same city that the first accent was from. The first one was a young lady. This one's a young man. I don't know if they're from the same part of the city, but they do have a similar way of speaking. And that's just like, when you ask me, that's 100% ATL right there. Shout, you know what I'm saying? I ain't from the ATL, but you know, I live there long enough to goddamn, you know what I'm saying, talk like them folk, you feel me? That's the Atlanta. That's the Atlanta accent right there. Don't feel bad if you can't understand that, because again, some natives might not understand everything he's saying, or they even if they can, you know, identify the words, they might just be like, what the fuck is he talking about? You know what I mean? There's a lot of colloquialisms in that speech. All right. But we're going to move right along, my friend, to accent number 11. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
To be muddled by my knowing too much about. I want to generally know what the case is about. And we do the cases. We start at 9:15 in the morning, and we usually finish by 3:15 in the afternoon. And we've done a week's worth of cases in that day.
All right, my friend. If you haven't identified it already, that lady is from New York City in the United States of America. New York, New York, New York. I don't know the rest of the words. This is where dreams and a do nothing inspire you. I don't know. What is she even talking about in that song? Yeah, that's a New York accent. Now, you should know there are various New York accents. That's just one kind. Okay, because there's different, I guess they call them boroughs, which are not necessarily neighborhoods, but kind of like sections of the city. I don't know how it works. I've never been to New York, but that's just one kind of New York accent, okay? All right, let's move right along to accent number 12, my friend. Let's see if you can identify this one.
Where me and the girl I was seeing at the time had seen a mutual friend that we hadn't seen in about a year. And she said to me that she was wearing the same clothes that she was wearing last time we saw her about a year ago. And I was very confused by this. I said, how do you remember what she was wearing?
The fuck is he talking about? All right, my friend, where do you think he's from? Where is he from? Take a second, think about it. 3, 2, 1. That young man there is from somewhere in Canada, our brothers and sisters to the north of the US. That's where he's from. I don't know where exactly. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere near Alberta. And the reason I say that is because he sounds very similar to Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, one of my favorite people. He sounds like he's his son or something like that. I mean, they don't sound identical, but as soon as I hear his voice, that's who I think of. And I'm just like, yeah, you're Canadian, ain't you, buddy? You're Canadian, ain't you, bud? Do all Canadians say bud? I don't think they do. I think that's like a Western Canada thing, like a Vancouver thing. I don't know. I need to make some more Canadian friends. Anyway, that's the Canadian accent right there, my friends. We're going to move right along to the next one. Let's see if you can identify this person's accent.
While they're not addictive, they're not without risk. Disorientation and dizziness, as well as feelings of nausea and paranoia, can also be experienced.
It also affects the lungs because obviously it's ingested that way and can cause spasm in the throat. When somebody...
Sounds like they're talking about smoking weed. Talking about paranoia affecting the lungs and shit. All right, where do you think they're from, my friend? I'll give you a few seconds. Think about it. All right. Yeah. Well, hopefully you said Ireland. They're from the great country of Ireland. I can't really do that accent. I like it, though. I really like the Irish accent, but it's hard to imitate. But yeah, I guess it was a man and a woman, both of them, if you ask me. And based on the place I found this clip, they're from Ireland. All right. Cool. So hopefully you got yourself, 13 points so far. But again, if you don't worry about it, my friend. I still love you. English still loves you. Okay. It's all good. We're going to move right along to number 14. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
You know what I'm saying? Set little goals that lead to big goals that lead to wherever you want to go. Try to succeed in life. I don't know what everybody's goals is, but I mean, that was mine. So every Sunday, I'll write goals out for the week. And them goals, lead to monthly goals or lead to bigger goals. try to live my life like that every day.
Every fucking day, baby. All right, take a second, think about it. Where's he from? Let me know. Hopefully you said New York City because that is where that young man is from. More specifically, Brooklyn, New York. And this clip is I actually recorded that myself. It was many years ago. Well, not many. It was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. In the streets of Atlanta, actually. I was doing street interviews and came across this young man. And he was working out, exercising, you know, on his health kick, losing weight, eating healthy and shit. And then we got into goal setting and all this other stuff. And I guess he was just living in Atlanta for the time, but he was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So that's the accent. All right. All right, cool. Moving right along, my friend number 15. Let's see if you can identify the accent.
We get a few awkward ones that either don't know the way home or they just want to, you know, stay on the mountain. So it's a little bit more difficult with the weather being so hot to shift them. The dogs get tired very quickly. The shepherds get very tired.
All right, my friend. What do you think? I'll be honest with you. This one in particular, I got wrong. When I was listening to all these different accents, that man apparently is from Wales. Country just to the west of England, borders with the country of England. And yeah, it's almost impossible for me to differentiate the Welsh accent from the English accent. They sound so close to me. I'm sure people from England or Wales can easily differentiate them, but I thought it was English, and turns out it's Welsh. So don't feel bad if you didn't get that one, because even a fucking native couldn't differentiate the fucking accents, mate. The fuck is wrong with me, eh? Got to do a bit more practicing, got to get more exposure by order of the Peaky fucking Blinders. All right, we're going to move right along to the next accent, my friend, number 16. Hopefully you are keeping track of your points. We are almost to the finish line, and I want to know how many points you got. All right, let's move on. Next accent. Let's see if you can identify this one.
Esmeralda, or do you know what I would love to do actually if they ever did, this isn't Disney, but if they ever redid Prince of Egypt? Yes, because I've seen they've done the musical for it now in the West End, so if they remade that into a film, I'd be down for that. You know what I mean? Talk to me about the Prince.
Damn, she said I'd be down for that. I didn't even know. I'm about to give away the answer. All right, what do you think, my friend? Where is she from? Where's she from? I'll give you a few seconds. Ding, 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 ding. All right, time's up. That young woman is from England, more specifically the Tyneside. Now, if I understand correctly, the Tyneside is like the northeast of England, up there near Newcastle. In fact, I was about to say something I'm not sure about. I was trying to make a connection between the Newcastle Football Club and their nickname and the fact, I don't know why they call it the Tyneside. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. I got to get some British people on the podcast to talk about life in England and the culture and the accents and stuff like that, right? This is real English radio, and we're not the only ones that speak English. We just do it the best. All right, we're going to move right on to number 17, my friend. Let's see if you can identify this accent.
I've had my Twitter since March 2010. That's been a long time. I was about 11 or 12. Yeah, not gonna do the math, but yeah, I was young. So there are probably some pretty stupid stuff
coming out of your mouth. All right, my friend, where do you think that young lady is from? I'll give you a few seconds. Process it. Think about it. Well, actually, I can't even say I'm hoping that you said the Southern accent, because that's where she's from, somewhere in the South. My guess is Texas or a state near there. But you can be forgiven if you couldn't identify that one at all, because she wasn't saying so many words in complete sentences, and there was music in the background. So don't feel too bad if you had no idea where she might be from. But she is from the Southern United States, somewhere down there. All right. All right, let's move right along to the next one. Let's see if you can tell me where this person is from just based on their accent.
Fault of my own, I managed to skip Italy. So as I was going through, I didn't even notice until when everyone was saying, what about Italy? And I was like, oh damn, snap! I missed Italy, so that's my bad. Sorry about that. As for Armenia and Bulgaria, you know,
I don't know what the hell she was talking about, but I do like the accent. And you might recognize this accent from another podcaster who teaches English, Teacher Luke Thompson. This accent is directly, I was going to say straight and directly, Jesus. This accent is straight out of London, England. That classic London accent, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't know who Teacher Luke is, Luke Thompson, the legendary podcaster, the host of Luke's English podcast, get your fucking life together and go check it out. It's a great podcast for learning English, especially if you want to get exposed to that British accent. All right, but that's the London accent for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move right on to the next one. Let's see if you can identify it.
No, it's wonderful. But it's just, you know, it's the best day of the year, this. This is the best day of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, you can spend your life playing in golf things, and I don't. I mean, I do a few. I came back and I did Fergie's golf day, but this is the greatest because you know that you're doing...
All right, what do you think, my friend? What do you think? Well, I hope you said Northern Irish, but do not feel bad if you had no idea or if you got that one wrong, because even me, the first thing I said when I heard the clip was Scottish, you know, but apparently it's Northern Irish. I mean, they're close, right? So, you know, I wonder if they like actually get mad if you mistake their accent for being from a place that's literally right next door. Like, do Northern Irish people get mad if somebody thinks they're from Scotland based on their accent? Do Northern Irish people get mad if they think, or somebody thinks that they're from Ireland? You know? These are the questions, folks. These are the questions that keep me up at night. All right, we're going to move right along to the very last accent in the game. My friend, I hope you're still with me. I hope you're keeping track of your points because I need to know how many points you got. All right, let's do it. Last accent on the list. Let's see if you can identify it.
You did what I'm saying? I'm from the deck, though. I'm from the east side. You know what I'm saying? From the east side, man. Glenwood and Boulder Crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here on Hollywood Road, Bankhead. My folks up going home, man. Long little shout out low, Carlo. You did what I'm saying? To be exact. You did what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, real 90, baby, with the drip, man. You gotta kick these two right here. You did what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Again, you should not feel bad if you couldn't understand that one. I just realized now how much, I mean, there's noise passing right now, fucking motorcycles. But in that clip, I didn't realize how much noise there was, cars passing by and honking and shit like that. But that young man was also from Atlanta, Georgia. So we've had 3 clips now. 3 different people from the same city, all right? But don't feel bad. Jesus, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you couldn't understand, because it is challenging even for natives, all right? The Atlanta accent is quite unique. I love it. I love the way it sounds. Maybe just because I lived there for so many years, but I like it, man. But it's a bit challenging because there's a lot of colloquialisms and slang, and you know, it's just got that southern twang to it. You know what I'm saying? You got this kind of southern accent. You know, sounds a little bit like the former president. And get a sip of my sweet tea before I load my 12 gauge and I go out there and shoot some buck. I don't know what the fuck they do. I don't know. And then you got, you know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of southern accent like Atlanta shout. I'm not that good with it, you know what I'm saying? My southern accent, my Atlanta accent sounds a bit fraudulent. That shit was horrible. What the fuck was that, Tom? That was horrible. But as I was saying, I'm not the best at imitating the Atlanta accent. I just know it every time I hear it. You know what I'm saying? But we have arrived at the end of our little game, my friend. How many points you got? Tally them up. Do some addition. Let me know. Let me know, bro. If you're listening on Spotify, scroll down to where it says, what did you think about the episode? Enter how many points you got. All right? Let me know. But just to end out this episode, I just want to remind you, it's important to remember that when it comes to accents, you might always struggle to understand certain people from certain cities or countries. And that's totally normal. Even natives have trouble understanding other natives sometimes. Now, hopefully this episode will inspire you to expose yourself to more English-speaking accents so you'll at least be able to identify them whenever you hear them. And the last thing I'll say is that it's also extremely important to remember that you, as an English learner, may always have a strong accent as well. But there's a difference between having an accent and pronouncing words poorly. Because everyone has an accent, including natives. So as long as you're saying words clearly and people can understand them, you have nothing to worry about. Now, I suggest you focus much more on increasing your active vocabulary so you can express yourself in more detail and studying the art of communication. Because it's one thing to know the words of a language, but knowing how to use the language effectively is another thing entirely. Now, as always, I want to thank you for your time and your attention, my friend. I hope you've enjoyed yet another episode of Real English Radio. I'm your host, Tony Kaizen, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.